Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Now in today's video, we're going to check out the Honor 90 that just officially landed here in Malaysia. Now I think this is actually a pretty interesting mid-range phone because of the price which was announced. Now this Honor 90 is going for RM1799 here in Malaysia, and straight off you do get 12GB of RAM, which is a lot guys, and 256GB of internal memory. So if you just think about the Honor 70, which was the last generation version, it came in at 1999 and only had 8GB of RAM. So I mean, good to see that Honor is actually giving us 12GB of RAM right at the start there, and an even more affordable price point. Anyways, let's talk a bit more about this device and see what else is new on the Honor 90. Alright, so the biggest thing that Honor is really emphasizing about the Honor 90 is actually that display at the front. Now compared to the Honor 70, a lot of things has changed with the display on the latest device. So we have here a slightly larger display panel. It's 6.7 inches right now. Other than that, it is also a slightly higher resolution than before. Previously it was like 1080p, now it's 1200p, and just in terms of pixel density, it's 435 ppi guys. So that's actually very high resolution. And if you're watching a lot of Netflix, YouTube and all that, if you're browsing your photos on your phone, you're definitely going to appreciate that additional resolution on the Honor 90. What remains the same is that we still have the beautiful AMOLED display. It's also curved on all the sides, and of course it still retains the 120Hz refresh rate. That means everything is going to be pretty smooth. Alright, so another cool thing with the display, one big improvement that Honor put onto the display here is actually the PWM dimming. Now I did talk about this in my previous video, which I did a comparison, and the PWM dimming on the Honor 90 now is the highest ever on any smartphone. It's 3840Hz by the way, and if you have been keeping track of what Honor has been doing in the PWM dimming space, you would know that Honor has always been improving on their flickering of their displays, and right now it is at its lowest point. If you, like me, you browse your phone a lot, you look at the display a lot, most of the entire day, you will definitely appreciate here a less flicker display because it's going to cause less eye strain to your eyes, and at the end of the day you will be able to have a better sleep at night. So yeah, definitely good to see a lesser flicker display on the Honor 90. Alright, so other than that, Honor is saying that they have also significantly improved the cameras at the back here. So the Honor 90 does sport a triple camera setup, but the main one that we're going to talk about here is actually the 200 megapixel super sensing sensor that Honor calls it. It comes in at a 1/1.4 inches. That means it's slightly larger than say the IMX 890 from before. So just in terms of pictures guys, what can you expect here? Well, I would say that if you travel quite a fair bit, I actually brought this phone along with me to my last trip, and I took a lot of photos during the day as well as at night. Pictures during the day actually captured in a lot of detail. You also have great dynamic range, and the colors was actually quite accurate. I want to put some highlight into the night photos because I think the Honor 90 actually did a great job here. Naturally, because it has a larger sensor, so it was able to capture in more light, and the night photos coming from the Honor 90 was actually quite interesting. So again, a couple of sample photos for you guys to take a look. If you want to zoom into your photo a bit more, you can also use the 200 megapixel high resolution mode on this device here. One picture is going to take about like 40 to 50 megabytes, so it's a huge size, but you do get to zoom in a lot and see even more detail, or maybe even just crop the photo, adjust, rotate it a little bit without losing too much detail. So that's there for the 200 megapixels. Other than that, just in terms of portraits, the portrait mode actually turned out quite interesting on the Honor 90 as well. It was actually doing a pretty good job at separating the main subject with the background. And of course, if you are happening to be taking photos like out in the broad daylight, on other phones sometimes you might notice that the background, let's say you are against the sky, it might be completely flashed out, but for the Honor 90 it was actually able to capture in the details at the back, so its HDR is actually working quite well with portraits as well. Alright, so that's just in terms of the cameras. Other than that, the performance has also been improved on the Honor 90. For a device of this price point, I see some other phones using the Snapdragon 778G or maybe some Snapdragon 778G Plus, but for the Honor 90 they are using the Snapdragon 7 Gen 1 accelerated edition. Now what does it mean by accelerated edition? Well, basically the Snapdragon 7 Gen 1 on the Honor 90 is slightly overclocked. It is moving at 2.5 GHz, so it's slightly more powerful, I would say. If you are playing a lot of games, I play a lot of Mobile Legends, you should be able to go through breeze through it without any issues. Everything was very smooth, and the game mode on here actually did help it out a little bit. Other than that, in terms of the RAM, like I said at the beginning, we are having 12 gigabytes of RAM. You can expand it by an additional 7 GB. But the storage options is actually a more interesting topic here because we actually have storage options up to 512 gigabytes. And remember, like I said earlier on, we have pictures of up to 40 or 50 megabytes. So if you are going to take like a ton of photos or maybe going to download a lot of games just to future-proof your phone, I do think you might want to consider the 512 GB option because it does open up a lot of space for you to put all your files in. Right, so in case you're wondering about the battery life, of course, this device here, although it is still very slim, it comes in at a 5000 mAh battery. More importantly is the charging, which is 66 watt Honor Supercharge. It does like 3 to 45% in I think just a couple of minutes, so it's fairly quick. Last but not least, in terms of the design, the Honor 90 is sort of an iteration of the Honor 70 in such that they do share similar design languages. But one thing to note here is that again, it's still very slim, very lightweight, curved on the backs, so it's very easy to hold. In case you're wondering about color options, we do have 3 different options here. We do have something that looks a bit like blue, we have a gold as well as a green. Now I'll put on the official names on your screen so you know which to choose when the time comes. But yeah, those are the 3 color options that they have, and I personally think the green version is the best because it's minimalist, it's matte at the back, completely smooth to the touch, no fingerprints, no issues. Alright, so at the end of the day, the Honor 90 here is actually a very solid upgrade compared to the Honor 70. I think that the price point is already very attractive at again RM1799. According to what I know, Honor is actually giving off like a first sale kind of thing on 22nd July. They're giving out like freebies and even a 150 ringgit e-wallet credit, which effectively is sort of like a cashback, which makes the Honor 90 even more affordable. So yeah, always happy to see these phones coming in at even cheaper prices so that the consumer gets to benefit the most. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think the price is reasonable for the Honor 90? Is this what you have been waiting for? Let me know down in the comment section below. If you have any further questions, or you need help or anything, just let me know down in the comments below as well. I'll try to help you out. Thank you guys for watching to the end, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.